Hey y'all, and welcome back to Cooking with Kiana. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this delicious Sunday dinner meal from start to finish. First, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this delicious melt in your mouth, quick and easy pot roast in the crock pot. I'm going to be pairing this with some garlicky, buttery mashed potatoes and some southern style green beans with bacon. But enough talking, let's get right into it so I can show you guys how it's done. Let's begin. So first, I'm going to start off with a quick little run through of what you're going to need for the pot roast. To start off, you're going to need 1 cup of diced onions, a half a cup of diced bell peppers, 1 cup of sliced mushrooms, a couple sprigs of fresh thyme, rosemary, and sage, and a whole garlic bulb, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, a cup of red wine, 3 to 6 cups of beef broth, and about 3 to 4 pounds of eye-round roast or beef chuck roast. To get started, I'm going to go ahead and mix all the seasonings together that I'm going to be using to season up this roast. I'm going to add the onion powder and the garlic powder, and I added about a teaspoon of each, 2 teaspoons of Lawrys seasoning, 2 teaspoons of complete seasoning, a tablespoon of herbs de Provence or Italian seasoning, and a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. Now, once you've got all the seasonings in the bowl, you're going to go ahead and stir those all together until all those seasonings are well combined. Now that I'm all done with that, I'm going to go ahead and set that aside so I can get started on seasoning up my roast. So first I'm going to add a generous amount of oil just so those seasonings could stick to my roast. And then I'm going to add a generous amount of the seasoning. You'll make sure you get the seasoning all over. And make sure you really pat that seasoning in so it can stick. Of course, you want to go ahead and flip that over so you can season up all sides. And as you can see, I have left all the fat on my roast because with a lean cut of meat like this, you're going to need that fat for flavor. So once I've gotten this all seasoned up, I'm going to go ahead and transfer this over into my cast iron skillet so we can get a good sear on all sides. And you want to make sure you sear on each side for about 3 to 4 minutes on about a medium to high heat. Don't worry if you see a little bit of char, that is just caramelization, which will add to the flavoring when we put this in the crock pot and let this simmer. So it's important that you get a good crust on that roast. So guys, don't be lazy and try to skip this step and then come in the comment section and tell me that yours don't look like mine, because I'll know. But in all seriousness, you want to make sure you sear all sides because that is going to enhance the flavor when we put that in the crock pot. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. So again, we can sear all sides. Now, once we're done doing that, we're going to go ahead and set this aside so we can get started on our red wine reduction sauce. Okay, so during this part, I got a little bit distracted with filming and everything, and my pan burned, so I went ahead and switched it over to another pan, went ahead and added in some oil and some butter. Then I added in my onions and peppers. However, you want to add your onion and peppers in the same pan that you sear the roast in, okay? Once you started searing it in that cast iron, you already started to build the base for the flavor. So once my onions, peppers, and mushrooms have started to soften up a bit, I'm going to go ahead and add in 1 garlic bulb. What I've did is I've cut off the tops of it, and I'm just going to place it right into that pan. What we're doing right now is we're roasting that garlic. Then I'm going to add in my 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and then I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit more of that seasoning mix that we made earlier. Just go ahead and season this to taste, and you should have a little bit of seasoning left over. Then I'm going to add in 1 beef bouillon cube and 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. Now you're going to go ahead and stir everything together. Let those tomatoes bloom. They're going to let out all of those flavors and aromas. And once everything is all mixed together and everything has softened up a bit, we're going to go ahead and add in our cooking wine. I'm going to be using some red wine for this recipe, and you don't have to go too crazy when it comes to the prices of wine for cooking. Once you cook it down, it won't really matter too much. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and give that sauce a good stir so you can mix everything together. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop the lid on and let that simmer for about 15 minutes, just so that can reduce to about half. Once my sauce has thickened up a little bit and reduced to half, and we have cooked out that wine taste, it is time to transfer it into my crock pot. But first, we're going to go ahead and add in that roast. Make sure I add in any extra juices that was left over from the roast. And now I can add in my sauce. Make sure you guys add in that big garlic bulb as well. That's important because when we pop this in, the crock pot, that is going to roast down and we're going to squeeze that out. We're going to have a garlic paste. Now I'm going to add in my beef broth, and you want to add in enough to cover your roast halfway. So probably about 3 to 6 cups depending on how big your roast is. Next, we're going to add in our rosemary, sage, and thyme. We're going to close that with a lid and let that go for about 4 hours. You want to make sure that crock pot is on a low heat, all right? That way our roast could be nice and tender. Okay, so it has been 4 hours. Now we're going to go ahead and add in 1 pound of potatoes. And of course, I went ahead and took off that skin and cut them up into little chunks. Then you're going to add in 1 pound of chopped carrots and celery. Next, I'm going to add in 1/4 of a cup of chopped scallions. Now, if you want to, you can add this in towards the end. I like to add this in towards the middle. Then I'm going to go in with the rest of the leftover seasoning that I had. I'm going to go ahead and stir that all up so everything is well combined. And if you want to, at this point, you can give it a taste. See if you want to add a little bit more seasoning. If you have some accent, you can add that in. Or if you don't have accent, you could just add a little bit of salt, you know, just to enhance that flavor. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop that lid on and let that simmer for an additional 4 hours. All right, so altogether, my roast has been simmering for about 8 hours. It's all done. It's time to make this cornstarch slurry. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/4 of a cup of cold water. I'm going to go ahead and give that a good stir until that sauce is well combined. When you're done, it should resemble milk. Now that that's all done, we're going to go ahead and add that into our crock pot. And what that's going to do is that's going to thicken up our sauce a little bit. Once you've added in that cornstarch slurry, you're going to start stirring that in. It should start to thicken up immediately. All right, so now I'm going to go in. I'm going to take out all of my rosemary, thyme, and sage leaves. It has done its job, so we can get rid of it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I like to shred my pot roast. Okay, but if you prefer, you can go ahead and just slice it up. But to be honest, it's not much slicing you're going to be able to do with it because it's just so tender. Man, just look at how tender and juicy that pot roast is. So now let's move on to our garlicky, buttery mashed potatoes. And I know you guys will all enjoy this recipe. So to start off, you're going to need 4 pounds of russet potatoes. To make the peeling process easier, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the tops and the bottom of each. Now, if you want to, you can use a potato peeler. I'm going to do it the old school way and just use my handy dandy knife. Now, if you like your mashed potatoes with skin in it, you can go ahead and use the red potatoes and skip this step entirely. But me, I know I like smooth, creamy mashed potatoes, so I'm going to go ahead and peel off that skin. Once you've got those all peeled, you can go ahead and chop those into little chunks. Just make sure they're all the same size. That way when we boil them, they can cook evenly. So once your water has come up to a high boil, you're going to go ahead and add in those potatoes. I'm going to add a generous amount of salt to my potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and mix that together. And I'm going to let that boil for about 12 minutes. After 12 minutes, you're going to go ahead and drain out the water and set those potatoes aside. In the meantime, you're going to cut up 4 cloves of garlic and you're going to set aside 1 cup of heavy cream. You're going to go ahead and add the heavy cream and the garlic into a small saucepan and you're going to let that cook on medium heat. You're going to stir that in and let that cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. The goal is just to make sure the garlic is cooked. So now you're going to take the potatoes that you have already drained out and go ahead and give those a good mash until they are all mashed up. Now I'm going to go in with 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper, and a teaspoon of parsley. And once I got the potatoes all seasoned up, I'm going to go ahead and add in 8 tablespoons of salted butter. And then I'm going to go in with my potato masher and mash it all up again. You're going to keep mashing this on a low heat until all of your butter has melted. Okay, so now we're going to take our little heavy cream mixture that we made earlier and we're going to go ahead and add that into our potatoes. Then I'm going to go back in with the potato masher and just make sure I mix everything all together. Make sure it's mashed in so it's nice and smooth and creamy. Once I'm all done with my mashed potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and add it into my serving plate. Just go ahead and smear it out so it's all even. And then I'm going to add about 5 tablespoons of butter on top. Let the residual heat melt that butter so you have little melted pockets of butter on top. And then I like to top it off with some scallion. You can also use chives as well. And there you have it, my creamy, buttery mashed potatoes. Now let's move on to these Southern style green beans. They are super simple, and once you try these, they will become a staple in your household. So to start off, you're going to need 1 cup of diced onions, 3 cloves of fresh garlic that has been minced, and 8 slices of bacon that we're going to chop up into chunks. We're going to add this directly into a pan, and we're going to let this cook on medium heat. Once that fat starts to render and it gets nice and crispy on one side, you're going to go ahead and flip that over so you can get the other side nice and crispy as well. Once your bacon is nice and crispy, you're going to go ahead and set that aside because you're going to need that bacon for later. Make sure you leave all the oil in that pan because right after we set that bacon aside, we're going to go ahead and add our onions right into all of that bacon grease. Now you can go ahead and give that a good stir until your onions become nice and translucent and soften up a bit. Now adding your garlic and 3 cans of green beans. Make sure you drain out all of the water first. Yes, I said can. If you want to, you can go ahead and use the fresh ones, but honestly, the way this is seasoned, you will not be able to tell the difference. I'm gonna go ahead and season this up with a teaspoon of complete seasoning. And then I'm going to follow that up with 2 teaspoons of Cajun seasoning. Next, I'm going to add a teaspoon of Lawrys seasoning and 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Now, the crushed red pepper is optional. It's going to give you a little kick of spice. If you don't want spice, you don't have to add that in. Then I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of onion powder. And if you guys are enjoying these recipes so far, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below letting me know which one is your favorite recipe. And if you guys like recipes like this, consider subscribing so you don't miss weekly recipes like this, okay? So now I'm going to go in and add a tablespoon of brown sugar. This is going to balance everything out. It's going to give it a good flavor. Then I'm going to go ahead and stir that in for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to go in with the bacon. Then I'm going to add in about 2 cups of chicken broth. Then I'm going to cover it with a lid and let that simmer for about 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, you're going to have these delicious, well-seasoned green beans, okay? Nobody will know that these came from the can, and everybody going to be talking about them after you make them. I hope you guys all enjoyed these recipes. Let me know in the comment section below which recipe was your favorite and if you're going to be making this Sunday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.